And YouTube, sorry to disconnect. My phone died. So I will be answering the questions you guys had earlier. Just wait till a few people join in. And then we'll go through your questions. Who's joining? We got 4 people. Guys, comment something in the comment section so I know who's there, what questions you have. And sorry to disconnect earlier. My phone was dying, so I had to cut it a little bit short, but that's okay. We'll make up for it. We'll spend maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Happy to answer any questions, queries, concerns, doubts, or just say hello. Hey, PJ, Paramjeet, how's it going? You must be from Punjab, probably. Let's see. So I'll start with some of the questions that you guys had earlier. Yeah, Churi, how's it going? John, can I explain summarized written text? So summarized written text, 1 sentence, 5 to 75 words. Make sure it's all in 1 sentence. That's something that's very strict. So the tricky part is actually finding the key points. There's a few different ways how people explain it. Some people paraphrase everything and use their own vocabulary. Other people take 2 random sentences connected with the word and usually people that do this, their score fluctuates quite a bit up and down. So the way we pick the points is a little bit different. It's a little bit more effort. But what I recommend is whenever you have a limit, like in summarized written text of a word count, try to be closer to the upper limit. So a good range to write is between 55 to 65 words. Hopefully that answers your question. Paramjeet, you're in Australia. Okay, awesome. I want to know about writing task number 1. So yeah, this is the one I just explained, right? 55 to 65 words. I don't have an example with me to show you guys how to pick the points. We usually do that in class, but always 1 sentence, always 1 sentence. Summarized spoken text, we use 25 to 30 words template, then is it okay? So Hare Krishna, 25 to 30 words template is a little bit too much. I wouldn't use more than 15 or 20 words maximum, because if your template is taking up more than half of your summary, that means you're not getting as much score in the listening section for content as you could be getting. 𝐴𝐧𝐥𝐢𝐧𝐞, I don't know if I said this correct. 𝗠ฒิ𝗰𝗀𝐃𝐀𝐘. Hopefully I didn't mispronounce that completely. How's it going? And I'm just answering some of the questions you guys had in the previous video before I got cut off. When you open the college after holidays, Mehboob, is that, I think Mehboob, are you one of my students in Parramatta? I think you might be. So Monday we're open, but Tuesday will be closed for New Year, but then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, regular hours. I think this is our Mehboob, one of our students. Hey, how's it going? You guys disappeared, huh? Yeah, so Monday we're open, Mehboob, regular hours, just come by. Tuesday closed, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, back to regular hours. Thank you, brother. Santosh, can you please explain how to score well in select correct summary in listening section? So if you watched the, I believe Shan did a live video 2 weeks ago, and she basically explained the trick over there. So part of it comes down to practicing the material. Usually a week before your exam, we give you a shortcut of highlight correct summaries. But what you need to try to do is, what they do is in every paragraph, they give you some information that's true, but not the entire truth. So notice most of the time the answer is closer towards the end, especially in the last 25 to 30% of the recording. And you need to try to eliminate what they didn't say in the audio, because they'll change some of the information. So just try to eliminate. No, okay, they didn't say this. They said this, but they said it in a little bit of different way. And maybe the year was wrong. The year was actually 300 years ago, not 200 years ago. So yeah, try to just eliminate the options that are obviously wrong. And usually it's going to come down between 1 to 2 options. John Sharma was asking, when I give mock test, my fluency is 90, but during the exam it's around 70, though my mic placement was perfect. It happened 3 times. So John, could be the nerves. Maybe when the exam starts, you know, some people panic and they don't realize this thing. Another one could be maybe you're speaking a little bit more quiet. So I'm not sure. Sharma, you must be probably from South India, probably Gujarati, could be. So sometimes people from South India, from Gujarat, they have a very high-pitched voice. So when they're speaking during the exam, it doesn't register well. So you might need to use the hand positioning, like I was explaining in the earlier video, just to amplify a little bit your voice. So you see if I'm speaking like this and if I'm doing this, even though I'm not changing the volume, the sound is different. Tips for speaking 79+, especially repeat sentences and retail lecture. So Nishith, get a lot of notes for a retail lecture. You want to get at least 20 to 25 keywords from the audio. I do recommend following the format, something that's not too wordy, and you need to speak clear, especially the notes. You need speak normal speed. Don't mumble, because that's where you get your content in listening. And for all the other speaking questions, just watch. We have 2 or 3 different videos on speaking. One about describe image, and we had a few Q&A videos as well. So that's quite helpful. Music is life. Music is life is asking. I've scored listening 72, reading 78, speaking 74, writing 72. I want to score 79 in all sections. Please suggest. So music is life. You're making too many mistakes in one of the dictations, and you need to work on your fluency in speaking. And what else? Reading is 78. So you need to practice more reorder paragraphs and fill in the blanks. So 1 dictation extra, you get 79 plus in listening and writing. You need to improve your speaking fluency to 90. That you're going to pass speaking no problem, and just try to find some free resources, maybe on YouTube, to practice more of the reading questions. Nishith was asking whether you should be giving the official mock test before attending the actual exam. Yeah, I would do this, especially if you've never taken the exam before. Good idea. Just spend the $30, $40. Yeah, it's worth it, I think. Saeed was saying, you also focus. Thank you very much, Alex. I'm Saeed. You have suggested me to focus on summarized written text and read aloud. So I got more than 60. Thank you for your live session. It's really helpful. No problem, Saeed. Happy to hear you. Happy to hear you got your score. Gurpreet Singh, sir, could you please share practice websites for reading fill-ups? There's a few websites. PT Study is pretty good. Although it's not complete list, but you'll find about 200 questions for fill in the blanks. Covers maybe half of it, more or less. That's a good place. For the rest, yeah, you can find some maybe on YouTube as well. Saeed, I'm coming next month to Australia. I hope we'll meet in Sydney. We'll meet. Yeah, come on into our office, Saeed, anytime, especially in the evenings. I'm in the city office. Come on in. You can ring the bell. Let's see. Can you please give some tips to overcome the task of write from dictation? Write from dictation, just practice, practice, practice. Make sure whichever material you're practicing is the accurate material, because sometimes people write the dictations from memory and they don't write the words correct, and then they're making mistakes because of that. Nikhilesh, can I get the essay template? Sorry, Nikhilesh, won't happen because once I start sharing it publicly, then it gets overused and abused, and then we have to change it up, because you can't have the same repetitive template over and over. So we actually change ours every 6 months. So yeah, sorry, I won't be sharing the template. Let's see. Should we expect some changes in the exam in 2019? Yes. Every year they're making it harder. Every year they're almost pretty much doubling the material, and they change the marking. So usually we don't find out until it actually happens. And what happens is whenever people are passing the exam for 1-2 weeks, and then all of a sudden 1 week or 2 weeks, everybody's failing. And even though the exam looks the same, we know something happened. We send all of the teachers to take the exam, and we see if the strategies that we advise people to use still work. So usually Sir Umar, who's the founder of the company, he's really, really sharp on top of these things. He knows all the changes, and whenever there's anything, he takes the exam himself and makes sure it's nothing major, or it's something that we can overcome and adjust. So yeah, 2019 for sure. Changes. Why sometimes results come so late? If your result comes if it's taking more than 2 days, business days, I would exclude weekends. It's probably been randomly selected for assessment. So yeah, somebody else is looking at it, not just the computer. Let's see. If I had words in the sentence which were not there, Mohammed, I'm not sure what the question is. It's not the full question. How do you prepare for summarized spoken text? So make sure you have a template. Ours is not very wordy, it's about 15 words. Make sure you have the right strategy, like how the computer marks you what it's looking for, and try to get as many words as possible, as many notes, because when you have good notes, it's way easier to come up with a summary. Yeah, and try to take the grammar from the audio as it is. Don't just write individual words, because then whenever you connect them, it's going to be way harder for you to do it. And I'll answer some of the questions you guys are asking live. Let's see. Does the template work for retail lecture for getting 79 plus? It works, but not the template alone. You need to get lots of notes for retail lecture. You got it right. Please, how can I improve my read aloud? I keep getting 16 both reading and speaking. So focus on fluency and make sure, as I was mentioning in the previous video, you practice with some kind of voice to text recognition software like Google Translate. You want to make sure the computer can pick up at least 60 to 70% of what you're saying. But focus on fluency. Fluency has to be 90, something we demand of our students. What about the pace of speaking? Malikandan, Prakash, the pace is going to be different for different questions. Describe image is usually faster. Retail lectures normal speed, and read aloud depends on how good your pronunciation is. People that have good pronunciation that don't eat the words, they can go a little bit faster. If you tend to eat the words, especially the EDs and the S's, you might have to go a little bit slower, a little bit aista. And Saeed, you're coming to Sydney? Yes, I know, Saeed. We will meet for sure. Just come by our office. Hopefully, guys, that answers some of the questions that you asked. There's a few more from the previous video. I'm just going to answer those really quickly. How much will you charge for online coaching? Naveed, so we don't do, at the moment, we're fully booked for online coaching, like with the teacher one-on-one. So unfortunately, we can't provide online coaching to you one-on-one at the moment. We do have an online video course. So it's a set of more than 15 hours of pre-recorded lessons that students watch with all the tricks and strategies and so on. And then we share with them the templates and the practice materials on Google Drive. And we also have a private Facebook group where we have like live videos like this every week, and we answer their questions privately. And yeah, but sorry, at the moment, online coaching, I think we're fully booked for the next maybe 6 to 7 weeks. So we can just do the online video course. And a few others. How to book PT exam for under age 18? Ooh, I don't think I've ever had that question before. That's a good question, Roshan. Look, if you're under 18, and I'm not sure if you're taking this for education purposes or immigration purposes. For immigration, wouldn't make much sense because you probably, the score is only valid for 2 years, so you wouldn't be able to apply for any type of visa that's permanent, like just apply for your permanent residency. If it's for education, I'm sure there's got to be a way. Honestly, I haven't encountered that before, that we have a student under 18. Maybe give Pearson a call and see what they say about that. I'm sure there's a way around it. Yeah, because a lot of people take it for their studies. I think you should be able to book it. I don't think there's an issue with that. How to score 19 speaking? Bisham, watch my video that I made about speaking, describe image specifically. You will know everything you need to know. Basically, you don't stop talking. Whatever you say, you don't stop talking. Do we provide one-on-one online coaching? Triathlete, sorry, one-to-one, we don't do it because, again, our teachers are fully booked and that would be quite expensive. And we know a lot of students from abroad, they cannot afford, to do one-on-one. So we prefer, we made it into a more affordable package for the online video course. And we find it's more helpful for people because, yeah, anyways, just what I mentioned earlier, but one-on-one, we're fully booked for a while. And it's a little bit pricey, so I wouldn't recommend it unless you're in that situation where you can afford it. And I got 19 speaking, 73 each in reading, listening, 76 in writing. What should I do to improve? So VJ, 1 dictation you got wrong. You made too many mistakes, so you got 0 for the whole thing. Repeat sentences seem to need a little bit of work. And VJ, you need to make sure you got the right strategy for summarized written text. Writing summaries give you tons of marks in your reading section. A few more questions. Manikandan Prakash, are the samples from PT study enough for practice? Looking for 65 plus. For reading section, it's enough. Yeah, reading blank should be okay. And reorder paragraphs. Before I got 646 overall, I have seen all your videos, mic adjustments, so I got overall 62. That's a big jump. That's almost 20 points. So give you a round of applause. Well done, Saeed. That's a big jump. Very impressive. I feel hesitant during exams, especially in speaking. So Sandeep, you feel hesitant in speaking specifically. What I notice, and a lot of students, even students that are really well prepared, they still feel a little bit shy and awkward and nervous, and obviously it's stressful to take a test. So before you start the speaking section, there are some instructions on the screen, And what I tell people, pretend like that's your read aloud and read a few of the sentences as if it's your read aloud. And it just helps you settle and get into that mood. So whenever the exam actually starts, you're already kind of done a few questions. You don't feel as nervous. Hopefully that helps. 30 to 40 words. Write from dictation, always 30 to 40 words in total. So write from dictation, you always get 3 or 4 sentences. Minimum is, I would say, the shortest I've seen is about 7 words. And there's a few that are really long. There are 17 words. But on average, it's about 10 words, 9, 10, or 11. Yeah, so Sandeep, do what I said. Just read a few of the sentences on the screen and speaking before the speaking section starts as if it's your read aloud. And yeah, hopefully that will help you out. I'm sure it'll help you out. Just do that. So guys, I will log off. It's been an hour now that we're doing the live video for the private students and you guys as well. Hopefully that was helpful. Happy studying. Happy New Year. Have a good one. And nice to see you guys. Nice to see that you're very serious. You're very committed about your studies. Please prioritize it, because the harder to make the exam, the longer you wait, the more difficult it's going to be for you. So yeah. What about my battery? My battery's on my phone, and this one I switched on my computer. So thank you guys. Good night. See you later. Enjoy your weekend.